Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Woo! He now rocking with One Nation Radio. Welcome to the program. James Boy, Richard Latta, and a couple friends with the show for your wrestling needs. Shopping out the rest of the IWC. We gon' tell her how it is. We gon' shoot from the hip. If they putting out trash, we gon' rip from the bits. Make sure that you tweet us and you rate the shows. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Now let's get it on the road. Hey. One Nation Sports. One Nation Sports. One Nation Sports.
Welcome to One Nation Radio. And now, here are your hosts, Rich Latta and James Boyd. And thank you for listening.
SocialSuplex.com. BWB, what's up?
What's good? This is Wale, and this is One Nation Radio. You already know.
Welcome to the December 13th edition of One Nation Radio. James, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Just doing a podcast while Paul George is having his homecoming in Indiana. So, interesting. Saw a couple funny signs on Twitter, but I mean, from what I can tell, I just sort of tuned in. I haven't seen any real like hostility.
I heard they booed the shit out of him in intros.
Well, you know, that's par for the course, right? Like, what I mean by hostility is like, you know,
Paul George came back from a broken leg for these ungrateful assholes.
Yeah, well,
and the franchise traded him.
Yeah, it could be worse. They could be like, you know, running onto the floor during the middle of the game, like they did with LeBron, his second time there.
You don't know if that man is wielding a weapon or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're going to be talking about a couple things today. We're going to get started with a preview for WWE Clash of Champions, the last pay-per-view of the year. James, we have made it through the gauntlet of all these goddamn shows this year. It has been so much this year.
Yeah, there's more.
And I dreaded it from the start. It was just like, wow. There's no way this can be good. And SmackDown has had a year which we can pretty much, you know, forget. You know, for most of it, you can point to two shows possibly that I think you can have a real level of enjoyment for in the SmackDown side. Otherwise, I just don't see it. Money in the Bank, trash. Battleground, trash. Backlash, trash.
I'm racking my brain right now. Jog my memory. What's the second one after Elimination Chamber?
It would probably be Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, was that pay per view good or was it? Oh, I guess yeah. Cause, you know, the two pay per view, the two like main or the two some matches paid off for the time being when it happened in real time. I really don't remember much of what happened in between those two main event matches. Like what?
Well,
was AJ in that three-way?
Yeah, he was in that three-way, and that was pretty good with Dillinger and Corbin. That man was doing the yeoman's work, and they sacrificed Shinsuke Nakamura that night. So, anyway, on to Clash of Champions. It is a 6-match card with a pre-show match, so we can start right at the beginning. We have AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal immediately getting his rematch the month after, which is like a ridiculous, you know, concept in WWE because that almost never happens.
Yeah, I remember at one point I wrote down a list of all the people that are still owed heavyweight championship rematches one-on-one. I mean, so it's so weird. Like AJ pretty much got his 7-8 months apart from when he was owed it, when he lost the belt, or sorry, 10 months.
Right.
Actually, sorry, 9 months. It's really weird. Like Daniel Bryan is still owed a title shot. I remember correctly. Who else?
Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor. Did Roman ever get his title shot after he lost the match to Seth Rollins?
I mean, no, not as a one-on-one match. Well, no. He got it back. Like, he got a Universal title match. He didn't get the WWE Championship match, but it took him a while to get it.
No, that's right. I mean, I still counted as he still owed a match, but whatever. I guess he'll get it whenever he goes over to SmackDown,
which will be never.
Mercifully. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Actually, James, I actually saw a column the other day. It actually reminded me of you saying that someone had wrote out the 25 guys that are still owed a WWE Championship match. So there's like 25 of them.
Yeah. There's The Rock, there's John Cena, like it's a thing. But anyway, like, whatever. Either this could be the restart of or they, go back to 2018. We'll beat our fans to death. We'll flog them to death.
Punish us.
Or yeah, yeah, corporal punishment, flogging, or. Maybe it might be a little change. Might be, a change for the 18. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. This rematch feud hasn't really been built on much. It's been AJ running through the Singh brothers, Jinder Mahal expressing his desire to get back the championship, and being dressed absurdly at times. He's, that 1 week where he came out there dressed like Vince. That will stand out in my mind for quite a while.
Last week, this week he came out with a nice suit and a shirt. Like, see, anybody that's ever like watched Roseanne back in the day, like he was like in a weird flannel that like John Connor wore, like Dan Goodman character in Roseanne wore, like when he was trying to like sell cars or sell what was he trying to sell? Well, besides the point, like it was like some real Midwestern type deal from this international fly guy. Supposedly, it was weird.
Yeah, I'm praying and hoping that AJ Styles keeps the championship. Like we were saying, there hasn't really been much to go into this. AJ Styles is basically, saying you want it, come get it. They laid him out on SmackDown this week. The match with the Singh brothers a couple weeks ago was pretty fun. Seeing AJ Styles class them off the second rope onto the other one, that was pretty cool.
All right, so check this out. What they did for their go home show angle.
Yes,
AJ comes out, and then the Singh brothers come out, and they come in and they say, you know what? We're not going to get involved in this match because we're sick and tired of how Jinder has treated us. Blase squad. He made me kiss his feet. They tasted and smelled gross. AJ's playing along with it like, really? He had you doing all that? I can't believe it. Yeah, man, you didn't leave him alone. It's almost, like if this was a different situation, this would sound almost like Dirty Mackin, right? But anyway, they get to the point where he's like, we're not even going to be involved with Jinder. Like, screw Jinder. Like, we're just not even going to be in the match. And like everyone's saying, no one's believing him for a second. But AJ's actually doing a pretty good job of seeming like he's actually somewhat entertaining the idea that might actually be true. So then he pops up Twitter from wherever they were over the weekend.
What about this shit?
And they're like, "What?" Yeah, and they said, "What about when you were, doing your deal with him just, a couple days ago?" He's like, it was almost like, wait a second, I thought you guys were supposed to pretend nothing happens at house shows happens on TV. And, I thought they were supposed to just pretend like that's not even a thing. So then they went from there, and it was pretty interesting. Like AJ is like, I'll make sure you guys aren't going to be there at all. He headbutts one of them and then he whoops the other one. I thought it was a pretty decent time filled for not much of a type of angle to spruce it up at the end, but like it looks like Jinder is going to, or at least the suggestion is that Jinder is going to be there on his own.
We can only hope. We can only hope, and we can only hope that he is looking up at the lights, and we can move with AJ Styles as the WWE champion going into WrestleMania season and ultimately WrestleMania. But You know, and if they switch the title, you'll probably hear me unleash somewhere, whether it's here or Chad Matthews' show. I'm going to lose it. The next title match.
Real quick, should I throw down the gauntlet again and dare WWE to do some bullshit so that you have to now co-host One Nation Radio with Sierra or Simon?
So
it seems that every time I tell them that they are dangerous, they are close to the danger zone, they seem to not do whatever crazy thing they possibly think of doing.
Yeah. So the next match, there's a triple threat match for the United States Championship, and this feud is an absolute.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
What about Team Canada?
Oh, we get in there. I'm just going in order on the joint. Right. So this feud is an absolute disaster. It is a dumpster fire. It is Baron Corbin, coming is Baron Corbin times 3, essentially. It is him rising the fuck up and multiplying. Baron Corbin has been a human corpse since SummerSlam and a little bit before that. Bobby Roode has been absolutely murdered as a character, and he's literally just a guy. He's in that danger zone. He is a resident of that danger zone that Macho Man was talking about. And Dolph Ziggler just showed the fuck back up after being, doing absolutely nothing this year. Getting whooped by Nakamura on TV. Essentially, he's back with theme music again. It's like we're supposed to forget all that whole shit where he was coming out. He actually got himself over. But he disappeared from TV, I want to say for like 8 weeks, it felt like. And, he just shows up. Yeah, I'm Dolph Ziggler. I'm a former 2-time world champion. Of course I get to be in this match. And this match looks like the epitome of we don't know what the fuck our mid-card is supposed to look like on SmackDown.
You're right. And dare I say, if this were back in the days before the brand split and all the champions were all on Raw, and this was the U.S. belt, and it was the third belt in the company for the male singles. Will we even consider this a mid card feud, or would we just say this is a bottom of the card feud? Because it feels like a bottom of the card feud.
Bro, it's really bad. Like I don't understand. Who could be excited about this? Like, who can be excited about Baron Corbin right now?
You know what's even worse? I just said that and I thought to myself, oh my God, Mojo Rawley versus, Zack Ryder is the bottom of the card feud. SmackDown, they have no mid-card.
You know why? Well, this can either be
Miz left.
Yeah, this can be fixed on Sunday, or it can't. The roster position has been thrown off since... let's see, April. It's been thrown off, and so it creates this weird, situation where they got to plug guys in, different places, and it just, this match is bad. I think it's gonna be awful.
But the thing is, right? So, they realize that they have no mid card. They're so top heavy. The guys that are supposed to be their mid card, they all, they're not cutting it right now. And then what do they do on the back end? Let's throw Nakamura, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn all into one feud. It's stretch this shit out. I'm kind of have the idea that, that Orton and Owens is going to happen sooner or later, relatively soon, but they could have done, what would have been so bad about having Sami Zayn and Nakamura go out there, seeing how both of them right now, where they are in Raw's position, have them go out there and let them have another blowaway match that they did in Nakamura's debut. What would have been the worst thing about that?
You'll get no argument. You'll get no argument from me because I love blowaway matches. And apparently that's a thing on the internet. People don't like blowaway matches anymore. They much rather matches that aren't blowaway matches for some reason. But
is that true? Is that really true?
No, I just feel like I've been interacting with a bunch of folks lately. It's hipsters. That's all I think that's going on here. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a blowaway match from Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. Seems like they've been allergic to having that match on SmackDown because they've made Owens wrestle him a million times. Similar to the way I thought they were allergic to, this is a different case. They're allergic to Seth Rollins versus AJ.
Yeah.
But let's keep going down the list. Let's go ahead to that tag team match. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura will be taking on Team Canada, as James has named them, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And it will be a match with 2 special guest referees at the same damn time, like Future once said.
Yeah. Okay. So since you sound like you don't really approve of that, do you prefer Team Canada or the New Age Mounties?
Ooh, I like that better.
I'm sorry. Actually, no. I'm sorry. The Quebecers, New Age Quebecers, too. Pick one.
They can be
one of them Canada gimmicks. Pick up Canada.
They can be the Quebecers, or they can be the Rougeau Brothers Juniors, or whatever. The fabulous Quebecers. How about that?
All right, then.
The fabulous Quebecers. These guys, they're obviously not being fired. So all the suspense lays with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. And James, you went on a diatribe in one of our messaging groups about Shane McMahon and everything he's done since then, and basically just lit him on fire. So if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, like was it the inaugural Source Awards, or was it not the 94 Source Awards? Can't remember if that was the first one or not.
95.
95? Okay.
Yeah.
The 95 Source Awards, it is famous in hip-hop history for the lore of it's the height of the East Coast, West Coast thing, allegedly, between, and you have Death Row there, you have Bad Boy there, it's in, it was in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was in New York, and the whole thing, even the greatest rap group of all time, Outkast, gets caught in the crossfire where they win Best New Artist and they get booed out of the gymnasium. Why? Because they're not from the Northeast Corridor. Even though there was always a weird thing where you go back and you hear Jermaine Dupri talk about it, and he was like, Atlanta was quote unquote considered the East Coast for back then during the East Coast West Coast thing. That's where they aligned themselves with in that situation. But anyway, back to Lecture at Hand. There's a point where I forgot what award happens, but Suge Knight accepts an award, and he goes up there and he says, if you don't want to have your label executive all in the videos dancing and all in your songs doing ad libs and singing, come to Death Row Records. Right, and it also, you also have Snoop Dogg comes on stage, they boo Snoop Dogg, and he snaps off on the crowd, and he's like, I can't believe y'all ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I know what the fuck it is, East Coast, West Coast, I know what it is, I know it's East Coast, West Coast in the house.
It's so fascinating.
Yes, it's one of the most tense moments where you look at the snippets, because it's dude, all those dudes, especially back then, especially in Death Row, all them dudes were toting. So and I don't know how, celebrities aren't really too fond of going places where they have to,
Look, and this isn't your cuddly Snoop Dogg grandfather right now. This was 24, 25-year-old Snoop Dogg, still fighting for real estate out here.
Yeah, fresh off of beating a murder case, right?
Right.
So it was a real tense moment. But anyway, you think of that, and I thought about that's Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is in the way that obviously Snoop Dogg, everyone knows, he was alluding to Puff Daddy, and how Puff Daddy takes liberties in music. And he's pretty much how I always say that R. Kelly ruined the R&B game by doing that singing, rapping shit.
Yeah,
he just ruined it. Once he started doing it, and I mean specifically the early 2000s when he really got into it, besides him trying to be fake Dr. Dre on 12 play, but that's once he started doing Fiesta and stuff, you're oh, okay.
Found a new wave.
Yeah, you helped ruin the game. But anyway, in that same way that R. Kelly ruined the game, the producer game, Diddy is at the forefront of ruining that whole wave where next thing you know, Timbaland's talking on tracks. Jermaine Dupri's talking on tracks. Pharrell always wants to sing on every single track. He is the alpha and omega, pun intended, of this whole entire thing. So, think of Shane, and Shane is Shane is just Shane. He's found on his own, but he always has been thrusted into so many situations that he is not needed, or he's just literally there to take away the shine and spotlight from somebody else that needs it because he's McMahon, so therefore he's a bigger star than everybody else. And that's where you ended up. So I ended up going through like the Bad Boy catalog. I was like, you know what? You think about it with Shane. Shane is pretty much Diddy on every single like Bad Boy single in the 90s, where like he just on there for no reason. He's really not at like. You really think him saying "Take That" during Biggie's first verse of "Hypnotize" made that verse hotter? You think that like that pushed it over the top to one of the great rap songs of all time? You really think that's what it was? You think that's one of the reasons? You think like him talking and saying, "Tell your friends to get with our friends, and later on we can be friends." That's cool. You think him doing all Big Papa elevated that to one of the greatest rap songs of all time?
Hey man, I thought that was kind of fly, but that's besides the point.
That's not my point. My point is that man is seasoning. That man is not no Bane. I mean, at least back then, right? That man, especially before No Way Out came out, that man was seasoning. He was just, He actually not even seasoning because seasoning is essential. He was garnish. Oh. He's like parsley on the side.
Gotcha.
So Shane, every single time, like, it's always something. Like, Mace comes out with what feels so good, he has to hop on the bridge. Why? Because even though we 2.5 minutes of the song, and it's one of the hottest songs of 98, 90, I can't remember the year, we need to put Puff on there to say, take hits from the 80s, but do it sound so crazy? Man, kick rocks. It's not about you, Diddy. Stop putting yourself into all these situations that involve you. And then I thought to myself, you know what? One of the things that has really annoyed a lot of people with this Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens pairing is that, like, they come out and they're literally telling the truth, or more or less. Like, they're telling their version of the truth, right? But in effect, what they're saying it breathes true, especially after what happened at Survivor Series with the whole Under Siege thing. And
Tyrant. And
not only are they telling the truth, like, they're getting treated like geeks, especially Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has done some of the best. He's always, anytime he's gotten any kind of opportunity, he's done very well with it for what they've given him. And he took this and like he's annoying ska boy doing all the ridiculous dancing and he's turned it up to as they say 11, and he's so great. And he hops on there and Kevin Owens cuts from when he does the check. Yeah, that's great. And they did the yep movement thing. In the meantime, like, it just feels like it's not like doing anything. Like Sami Zayn's getting beaten like a drum. Yes. Like they can even let him.
Bro, like Sami Zayn's like on a treadmill right now. It's like, yeah, you're working out. Yeah, you're sweating and all that, but you ain't moving no distance right now.
Right.
There's like a stake in front of him that he can't reach.
And a lot of that comes down to, it's that time of the year. And there's still, musical chairs right now until the Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania, whatever else. And then, eventually, hopefully, they get moved on from the Shane thing once for all, and they can move on to, like, doing some tag team feuds with, like, the New Day and the Usos or whatever else. But right now, where they're at with Shane, like, literally, like, keeping the thumb on them and literally, like, holding them down just because, they screwed him over one time, is like, I thought you were the good guy. I know good guys turn over the sheep, but, like, there was something to be said about that the end of SmackDown last week where Daniel Bryan is sitting next to him. He's like, well, I guess that means they're off the hook now, right? And he said, you kidding me after what they did? I'm like, dude.
Like, what else you want?
Like, one, y'all was going to lose anyway because y'all was already down 2-4 by the time they jumped out there. And you defended yourself with a chair, because you can beat two people with a weapon that's not a gun.
The valiant warrior, Shane McMahon.
Yeah. So, I was just like, all right, fine. Like, so I just went off and started adding situations that fit with songs, and I just send y'all the videos and like send you descriptions. I was just like, I'm like, me, I haven't really been as bad on the Shane thing as you, but especially like WrestleMania time this year, earlier this year, you unleashed on him. You literally wrote a Pete stanza and all that. But me, I was like, I'm at a breaking point where it's like, hey man, enough of this. Like, can we move on to something else? Like, Shameless come out and wrestle at time here, time there, cool, but like I don't do the overarching storyline where he's just literally like taking up the entire fall and winter or the last third of the year. Go away.
Right. And that's leading us to his issues, you know, Daniel Bryan trying to be the honorable man that he is. And it looks like, you know, he may find himself in a situation where he's going to have to either save Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn out of doing the right thing. We're back after some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties meaning I damn near coughed up a lung where I'm from, Marcy's son. But Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, like the whole everything about this match, you know, is going to come down to them. Is Daniel Bryan going to have to put himself in a position where he ends up inadvertently fucking over Nakamura and Orton? Maybe there's a situation where, you know, we're right for a Randy Orton heel turn and he drops Nakamura for some weird reason and aligns with Owens and Zayn and says, you know what, fuck Shane McMahon because I already know how he gets down. Yeah. Literally anything can happen. I just know that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are winning.
Well, yeah, like that's the only thing that's one thing we know for sure is like by hook or by crook, most likely, crooked like a left hand is going to be Team Canada, the Quebecers, the Rougeos, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
them boys from them northern boys, they
way up north. Yeah. So it should be an interesting match. All those guys are good wrestlers. But, you know, I'm never high on the special referee gimmick. I feel like it should be abolished. If Daniel Bryan does something physical, he's probably going to stoke the flames even more. If he ends up taking some type of ref bump or, you know, if it's Shane and he might catch a kick somewhere. I don't know. But I just want to say it is a true crime that Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura will be in the same ring together, not able to wrestle. Fuck y'all, WWE. On to the next match. Go ahead.
He's not cleared to wrestle. Like, if they clear him to wrestle, then cool. They'll have. I'm sure those two will get to a match eventually. But like, I understand, like, those are two of your favorite guys in the last 5 years or so, but, like, damn, like, you just literally said screw the company for them, like, just putting them in the ring together. I'm sure they've been in the ring together. Like,
don't even be teasing me like this. Don't even play with me like this. You know, y'all, they done put me through enough this year.
Wow. All right. You know,
and meanwhile, I think they doctors is Fugazi anyway, so, you know, that's a whole nother subject.
That movie, like, they made a movie about him being, you know, in somebody's pocket. So what can you really do?
And that's the thing. Like, so many people I think don't understand about that. Like, I'm like, look, man. In pro sports, it happens all the time. It's like the team doctor is going to normally tell you what's best for the team. You know,
because they pay the doctor.
Yes.
That's why, like, you know, yeah, definitely.
You know, and it's I know it's a conspiracy theory and all that, but they need to move that man out the way somehow, or else they never was going to get what they wanted. So, and it seems like they still haven't got that, but we're going to move on. Charlotte and Natalya will be taking on each other in a Lumberjill match. I just want to say that they've already kind of normalized the Riot Squad, giving them jobber entrances. Oh yeah, by the way, Sarah Logan should never open her mouth on the microphone. Ever.
Why you say that? Because of the possum game thing from last week?
Bro, that, like, she's like country with TREE at the end.
Well, yeah, but you know they're having her play that up. Like, you really think Sarah Logan talks about the fact that Daniel Bryan doesn't actually like you're biased against the South? Like, you know, you ain't.
Bro,
never
I heard that shit. I was screaming.
You really think? And that first part, the best part about that was like the fact it's flat out lying. Like, every single champion at the time that she said that, every single one of them resides in a former slave holding state. So I was like, what are you talking about? Like, Baron Corbin from Missouri, Charlotte is billed from North Carolina, AJ Styles from Georgia, and the Usos are from Pensacola, Florida. Like, it don't get more stars and bars than that.
Yeah. Liv Morgan is entirely, like, too adorable to be trying to sound tough. Like, I don't believe it. Just let Ruby Riott do all the talking. Let her, you know, carry this whole deal. But they're the Lumberjills, and Natalia's getting her rematch, and Natalia's been she's had a pretty good year. But this is the time of Charlotte, so we think. But James, I think you had mentioned this might be the time for something.
Yeah. Lumberjill match. Everybody's going to be out there on hand, including one Carmella, the Miz Money in the Bank. So, you figure that all the women they've shown that they have a united front. I mean, it's actually funny because both shows this week have shown they have a united front against the incoming parties into both women's divisions. So, you know that like something's bound to happen, and then so you got the Riot Squad out there, and I mean they're called the Riot Squad for a reason. I would assume that with a bunch of people out there, somebody's shenanigans is gonna happen. So I'm expecting somebody get your hand out of my pocket for a smoke bomb, and then for a smoke bomb, and then Charlotte's gonna have a match one, but she's gonna look around and she's gonna all of a sudden instead of seeing a shotgun, she's gonna see a white Money in the briefcase. She's gonna smile for it. It's gonna flash off in her face, and she's gonna get cashed in on. That's what I expect to see. It's gonna
look like Malcolm X.
For a bunch of white women, it's going to look remarkably like the Malcolm X biopic. Yes, it's going to look exactly like that. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes, bro. If y'all have not seen the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington, if y'all can find that on YouTube, please do, because I want you to watch it for one thing. There is after the smoke bomb is thrown, the confusion is happening. There's a dude that walks up on Malcolm, and then Malcolm just smiles for some weird reason. All of a sudden, they light that man the fuck up. It's just hilarious. Why is he smiling?
Okay, I can't remember what Spy song it was, but it was Bushes. Oh, it was. I want you to smile for the yapper when I want you to smile for the yapper when you see it flash.
Yes,
that's exactly what Denzel portraying Malcolm X did at the end of. It's unintentional comedy for some of these biopics are just off the scales, bro.
Yes,
just off the scales.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's a situation where every month now on we'll be saying Carmella could cash in, but this is a perfect situation. The only thing I worry about with that is they just brought the Riot Squad in. So for Carmella to win the title, she can't fight any of them because she's a heel. So is this just to keep Charlotte occupied, out the title picture? It was kind of a short reign if that's the case, or is the Riot Squad really should their role be serving as some more heel opponents for Charlotte to wrestle, because everyone else is kind of exhausted at this point, or you really don't want to see it like Tamina?
Well, right. I think right now, what the idea is, let's say they do go along with the Carmella cash-in, right?
Yeah.
The idea is you make Carmella the champion. Charlotte is pissed off because she'd already been jumped on, she already interfered in one of her title defenses. So she has had enough, and then it's gonna become a time where Carmella's a champion. Natty, she's already had her title offenses. She's blown it, or whatever. You notice they've already been kind of being on the having to put their differences aside to take on this new faction. There could be more of that. It could be betrayals. It could be people turning onto that. Why couldn't Carmella decide to say, screw that, I'm going to join them?
Yeah, you never know. And then Charlotte has to run through. Then Charlotte has to run through all of them like Goldberg was supposed to run through the NWO.
I wouldn't even settle on having it be Carmella, be about Charlotte. Being the queen bee of the brand that she actually clearly already is. But I was thinking more along the lines of, right now, if the way this company is going right now, they kind of need an A storyline and a B storyline for the women right now, because they've done so little of that at all this year anyway, so that they need to focus on that. So this could be the start to going that route to where you can have a title picture and a non-title picture. Non-title picture is the Riot Squad.
You got to run it. That should be their catchphrase. We got a fatal four-way between the Usos, the New Day, Xavier Woods, the New Day, Shelton Benjamin, and Chad Gable, and Rusev and Aiden English. They gave Rusev and Aiden English a win over the Usos this week, with Aiden English getting the pin. Kind of eye-opening, but I guess you got to give these guys something. But I hope the Usos retain. I think they, spoiler alert, I'm going to vote the Usos as my in-ring performer of the year for the One Nation Radio Awards. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm pretty sure I'm going to vote for the Usos. So unless I change my mind between now and the end of the year, I think those guys have been awesome, and I don't see any reason to take the belts off of them, especially with the Bludgeon Brothers about to fuck everyone up until they get to the Usos. So maybe we can get that at WrestleMania, hopefully. But you never know. These matches, they have a lot of guys in them, and they tend to go well. They do these things these are a lot of veteran tag teams, and also veteran guys like Rusev and Shelton Benjamin. He knows what the fuck to do. What are you expecting out of this, James?
I expect the Usos to retain because it's way too soon for the New Day to go back to having the titles on them and going right back to Usos versus New Day. So I expect the Usos to win. For me right now, I'm kind of expecting, once we get to next year, I expect to see, we get to burn off this Shane McMahon and the Quebecer shit. I expect, at least I hope anyway, that we start going towards throwing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn into the tag team division, and them feuding along, and then they focus on having a focus on basically filling the card out with tag matches and tag members and singles matches or whatever to fill out the show until we get to the pay-per-view where they'll be in tag matches. Similar to what they've done on Raw the past couple weeks. I really want to see Team Canada as a tag team, fight for tag champions, the tag champions. And I also would get Kevin Owens the
Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam. Yeah, I don't know why.
Look, it would give Sami Zayn a belt.
Yeah, that too. It would actually give him his first title reign. So that that would, and also given the time frame, I think Kevin Owens and Team Member X versus the New Day is a WrestleMania caliber match.
We'll see.
Obviously, you can burn it off on at the Royal Rumble or whatever else, but I could see that. I could see them possibly going after the Usos first, and then they do Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Once the Bludgeon Brothers finish whooping on the rest of the division, but the geek parts, so they get through with Rusev Day and the American Alpha 2.0.
Yeah.
But I think this match is going to be great. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the best match of the night. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, the way tag team wrestling has been in 2017. Then, as we mentioned, we got Breezango versus the Bludgeon Brothers. The Bludgeon Brothers going to whoop that ass. What have you thought of these guys since they've returned?
It's so funny. They come out, and people don't know what to make of, the gimmick, the music, the gear, and then the bell rings, and they clobber the hell out of people. I don't know how far this can go when them just clobbering people like they're the Road Warriors or Demolition or whatever gigantic, tag team that beats on geeks. But they do it so efficiently, it looks so good. They pop the crowd every time. Their finish is whack, but everything else they do is great.
I'm just gonna say it right now in response to Josh from Keeping It Strong Style. The Bludgeon Brothers are better than the Road Warriors, so yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing an ass whooping of all time degrees. We would talk about Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, but I just don't care about no pre-show matches that don't got the Usos in them. Yeah, man. So we had some other news this week in WWE. there was the announcement of what's being called the Mixed Match Challenge. And this is something that WWE and Facebook will be combining to bring to you exclusively on the Facebook Watch app. And then the whole concept of it is Raw and SmackDown will be each teaming up men and women to form tag teams to compete against the other rosters. And I can go through the participants here. So for Monday Night Raw, we'll have Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, Asuka, Bayley, Braun Strowman, Enzo Amore, Finn Balor, Goldust, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, The Miz, and one final person who is rumored to be Samoa Joe. And then on SmackDown, you've got Becky Lynch, Bobby Roode, Carmella, Charlotte, Jimmy Uso, Lana, Naomi, Natalya, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the final fan vote will be a member of the New Day. So they haven't decided there. What's up?
Oh, it'll be either Big E or Xavier. Probably Big E.
Yeah. So like, I think they're going to be mixed tag team matches. Obviously, the men will be fighting the men, the women will be fighting the women. I think though, the Raw side is a lot more interesting as far as the pairings that you can put together. Just seeing the personalities. Which ones are you kind of like looking forward to, James?
I'm looking to see like where they're going to put are they going to balance the roster? So like there were earlier today, you sent me a picture of I guess Nia Jax teasing that she was going to basically more or less choose to be in a tag team thing with Braun Strowman, which would be like, all right, well then fold the damn competition. What the fuck are we doing here, right? Like cancel Christmas.
She was trying to recruit. And a bunch of them have been doing that across social media. Like Sasha and Bayley were trying to get Finn, and Alexa Bliss was trying to get Braun, and it was just hashtag Bliss and Braun. It'd be hilarious. How about Strowman and Bayley?
Yeah, I suggested Strowman and Bayley just for the comedy of like let's say
she needs to try to hug Braun Strowman.
Sorry?
Is she going to try to hug Braun Strowman?
Yeah, like basically, obviously they would never ever let Bayley win anything. I mean, if they do, they would take it right from her, right? But anyway, let's say she were to win. You had set a moment almost like similar to anger management in the early days, like it led to Team Hell No, where they're teasing a hug. Will there be a hug? Will Dr. Shelby finally convince them to hug each other? That sort of thing. And they could be a kind of a fun moment or whatever. Like just for the comedy of how is Bayley going to be around Braun Strowman and not be scared shitless? And two,
yes,
will Braun Strowman even give so much as a smirk to Bayley throughout the whole entire run up of all the matches leading to this whole thing?
Will Bayley be able to wrap her arms all the way around Braun Strowman?
Of course not.
Let's see. I would like to see Sasha Banks and The Miz team up. How is The Miz going to be trying to order around the boss? That's just not going to go well at all. Goldust being.
Wait. I thought that Stephanie told us this year that she's the boss. Sasha's not the boss.
Oh, I forgot about that, James. Thanks for correcting me. Yeah. It's always Stephanie. That's another one thing. It's always Stephanie.
Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, that's another thing. We hop on here. We always, we jokingly always say free Caleb and everything, right? So Caleb was trying to explain. I'm not going to give the analogy that he tried to use because God, I can't believe whatever. Anyway, so he was trying to say that Stephanie has the worst reputation, but Shane is actually worse as far as a worse person in kayfabe. And I was like, dude, Stephanie's been on TV maybe 15 times this year? Maybe. Probably less.
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
In that time, look, we're gonna go checklist. Sasha Banks, buried. Mick Foley, buried.
Kurt Angle?
Actually, yeah, Kurt Angle, emasculated and buried.
Rollins?
I think I mentioned Sasha. Jason Jordan's, same thing. Also, in the lead up to WrestleMania, completely dressed down Seth Rollins. like mastermind. Look, screw Seth Rollins with her husband and then hand chose Kevin Owens or whatever. Like all of this evil stuff. Shane pretty much Shane's just like a guy that's a dick that like thinks he's a good guy. Really, that's pretty much his whole thing. It's like, all right. You would say, what's the worst thing he's done? The Under Siege thing's the worst thing he's done. Like, he whooped on a bunch of, like, his employees. He had some of his employees come and attack other employees. Like, and he's being addicted to people that screwed him over first. That's pretty much all he's done. Like, so, but anyway, I lost my train of thought. Like, oh yeah, free Caleb? Nah, never that. You stay there. You stay where you at.
Oh, on that side.
Your parole's been denied. Stay there.
So I could go for Nia Jax and Goldust. I could go for Goldust and Alicia Fox. I could go for yes, Goldust and Alicia Fox would be absolutely hilarious. Let's see, we've got Finn Balor. Maybe you can put him with Alexa Bliss, like to try to like have Alexa Bliss bring some type of personality out of this guy.
Well, my question would be this: what would be best for Alexa Bliss? As far as the male roster, I think
I think the natural pairing would probably be, most people would say The Miz, right? But
oh yeah,
but do you want both of those chicken shits together?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess. And then there's like Samoa Joe, so maybe there's Nia Jax, Samoa Joe, the Samoan connection. You know, something they do like that.
But wait, do they? But I thought it was like a thing where like the Samoans that belong to that family tree that's as big as like Gaia. I thought
Samoa Joe's
like
the only one.
I thought they only stay. I thought they only mess with that side. They don't deal with the off-brand Samoans, if you will.
Yeah. They're gonna have to run that by the official Samoan family tree to see if they can get that cleared for Joe to team up with Nia. But moving to the SmackDown side, who do you think Asuka should be paired up with?
If you're asking me, I'd probably say Finn Balor, maybe.
Asuka and Finn Balor. Those are going to be some long entrances, boy.
But here's the thing. It's a 20-minute show. Like, it's a 20-minute show. Who cares? Like, these matches are only going to go, like, 14 minutes, 12 minutes.
Maybe Asuka can go out there with Goldust. I would laugh at that.
I mean, but the thing is, you have to give Asuka somebody that's respectable because, like, at least right now, they're doing the whole thing where, like, it's not part of the universe, but, like, you can't go out there and really be beating Asuka.
Right.
Even though they beat her down today or last night before people made the save for her.
So I think you have to give somebody that's not respectable. Like, if you're not going to let her win, maybe she's on the team that wins. Who knows? But SmackDown, there's a little bit less. I'll go through it again just in case you forgot. It was Becky Lynch, Bobby Roode, Carmella, Charlotte, Jimmy Uso, Lana, Naomi, Natalya, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, and then New Day member. You can probably pair up Lana and Rusev right away, Jimmy Uso and Naomi right away. From there,
are you really just go ahead and be like, married couples, y'all go ahead and just pair off?
Y'all go ahead and pair off.
All right.
Maybe they run. It would have been great to see, those upstanding baby faces, Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn team up, but they had to go ahead and turn Sami Zayn. So maybe Becky Lynch teams up with Nakamura, and they have this deal where they do the arm bars to people. Charlotte and Bobby Roode, maybe they can come out there with, see who has the better robe. I would probably put Sami Zayn with Carmella in this case. No real reason why. It's probably just going to come down to numbers. And then New Day member with Natalya.
Yeah. That's probably how it's going to break down.
Like, if it breaks out a different way, I'd be shocked.
It's a lot less fun. It's a lot less fun on the SmackDown side because you have the two married couples, and it's like, yeah, they're going to pair off.
Yeah.
Like, if they didn't pair off, I think it'd be a lot more interesting.
Right. Like, they'd be like, yeah, Carmella, you're going to be with Jimmy Uso. And then Naomi, you're going to be with one of the New Day guys or something like that. Like, you're going to be with Xavier. Like, they were, and they were like, oh yeah, they were, Funkadactyls. And, and when Xavier Woods first came back, trying to use the music, call back. Let's see.
Going back when that man had that afro and that stash?
Yes. They can go ahead and put Lana with, like, Bobby Roode or something. So Russo can get jealous. Oh my gosh. Oh, that'd be hilarious. But we got a couple other things to talk about on here. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it, but it should be interesting. James, why are they having a world title match with Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar in what looks to be 2018? Kane is 50 years old, far removed from his prime. He has been on TV for 23 years approaching at this point.
Kane or Glenn Jacobs?
Glenn Jacobs. So we know who he is, so we got to count that shit back to like 95, 94, or something like that.
Yeah. Man was a dentist.
Yes. And somehow we've gotten in a position where it's Strowman, Lesnar, and Kane because A, they don't want to beat Braun Strowman. B, they don't want to have him win the Royal Rumble, apparently. And C, they don't want him defeated, like, with, or they don't want to do anything else with him. Like, they just want to get him in there with Lesnar just for whatever reason, for the look of it, apparently, and then have just Kane do the pinfall.
Yeah.
This
like
is
they
stupid.
Booked a match. Like, they booked it, like, they booked a match where, like, we don't want to beat, two guys. It's like, all right, well then, like, how are you going to have an entertaining match when everyone knows that you don't want to beat two guys?
Right. Then how about not book it? Like, like we couldn't have just got, like, couldn't you just have, I feel like this is going to get drowned in, we want Balor chants. This is going to, cool Braun Strowman down. Is going to make him look like a loser, even though he doesn't do the pinfall. Like, he still loses the match. I don't know why WWE thinks that's okay, but okay, yeah, you're in the match, but you don't take the pinfall. Nah, man, you lost either way.
Well, you would think the logic would be that, like, all right, well, you always have this excuse where, like, you can get, like, basically the three-way match is a stopgap to extend the storyline to get you to where the big money is, which is the one-on-one match
that they're never going to do.
The whole talk is always, all right, well, you never beat me. You beat that jabron that was the third guy in the match. But the thing is, he's not going to get another rematch because Lesnar already beat this dude. So what the fuck?
Right. I don't see the point. I'm really, like, I don't understand why Kane is sniffing a world title match. And I believe we made the joke on One Nation Radio a couple years ago. I feel like it's contractually obligated for either Kane or Big Show to wrestle for a world title. I just want to know where all this love for Mark Henry is. Like, if we got to have Kane and Big Show coming back all the time, where the fuck is Mark Henry? Because Mark Henry's better than both of their ass. I don't like have a problem with Kane, like, personally, like, enjoy his career. Would have been nice to see him, like, as a surprise Royal Rumble entrant to do, like, a couple eliminations and, take your ass the fuck on, like, but they're putting him over all these younger guys. They are having him in title matches. It's like, if this is the most quote-unquote talented roster that they've ever had, right, then why don't they fucking use it?
I mean, trying stuff different.
I don't know, man.
They're ultimately
Kane.
All of this stuff. All of this. Ultimately, what ends up happening is Vince has certain tells, and a lot of people have tells like this, where things don't go right, you go back to what you know, right? So, like, let's say you're, like, it's the thing that keeps happening, right? Like, worst comes to worst with LeBron James on the basketball court. Either he's going to pass the ball, or he's going to drive left. That's LeBron James. What he does. He's going to swing the ball around the perimeter, or he's going to eventually drive left.
Or leave in free agency.
That's when things go wrong. Huh?
Or leave in free agency.
Okay. Anyway, so in the situation with Vince is what does he know? He knows I gotta have a top star. Right now, the guy he wants to be the star is Roman Reigns. So he's dead set on getting that dude over to a level to where like he can be or whatever. I don't know what the hell. Like he's already over to a certain extent. He's never going to get to the extent. Like he's never going to be John Cena. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like stop trying to make fetch happen. Stop trying to make Roman Reigns the next John Cena. It's not going to the next level of John Cena. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, he also has this thing to where big, sweaty, ugly dudes. Like, and Kane's a big, sweaty, ugly dude, and he's been with the company forever. And he's always going to get that dude a chance whenever like there's too many big shows on the card, or they're just at a dead part of the year, which is always this time of year, and they always a slog to get through to get the Royal Rumble or the first Raw of the year. That's how they've always done it. And this is where we are. We're in another one of these situations, especially because there's a brand split where we have to have, how many pay-per-views have we had this year?
I want to say there's probably like the 24th pay-per-view or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, man, 24.
They probably had like 19 pay-per-views or like 20 pay-per-views.
19 or 20. Probably 19 or 20, right? That's way too many pay-per-views. So, this is where we're at now. Like, you burn
we
through
could
all
have
the
put
pay-per-views.
Cesaro in this match or something. Like, what the fuck?
No, because they don't want to put, because Cesaro is put in a slot. Like, he is a guy that will be in a tag team champion, and we might throw him a secondary belt. Maybe. He hasn't had a secondary belt since. He's never had a secondary belt.
He's had one, like when he first showed up, he got the United States title, and they haven't.
But that's when it was the third belt.
Right.
Yeah, like now with the brand split, he'll never, like, he can be in a match for it like he was just the other day. He's never going to win it, I don't think. Yeah. Because they think he can't talk, and he has braces in his mouth right now because he, during a match, he got his teeth shoved up into his friggin' skull, and then he showed it and played it for the camera. And what are you paying by? Making him a geek that can't talk with a mouthpiece in. Great. Cool. Awesome.
Omega and Jericho, and I want to touch on this real quick. These guys are having a throwback 1980s awesome angle right now. I wrote a column about it earlier this week. Everything is completely unpredictable with these guys. We didn't know Chris Jericho was going to jump out on this man in Fukuoka. We didn't know he was going to whoop Don Callis' ass. They pretty much blew that whole kayfabe up of, oh yeah, we know everyone's kind of in on it with Cyrus and Omega and Jericho. Like, this has become a blood feud. This has gone beyond this the dream match that has been marketed as, and it has turned into something where we're going to get some, I don't know what the hell we're going to see. It's going to be a fight, though. And these guys are like busting each other to the white meat out here. Jericho's out here like a completely new character in New Japan. He's like a raging psychopath who's cursing at the media and cussing at Omega and basically saying this is going to be Omega's last match. Why? Because I'm going to finish his ass. That's why. That's pretty much it. And these guys are like, it has been announced, James. I don't know if you've heard the news that it is now a double main event.
Oh my God! They're doing this WWE shit.
They have announced it. Yeah, and I.
What does that even mean?
No idea.
Are there going to be two rings side by side like is the War Games
at the same time?
Have them wrestle at the same damn time? Is that what they're doing? Because if not, there ain't no damn double main event.
That's funny. Yeah, but it's just been awesome. I don't know how much you've seen of it, James, but it's on another level right now, and from anything happening in wrestling.
I've only heard. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things. Like I saw a part of the media press conference where Omega jumps Jericho, and like I ended up clicking off from that because that something that came up at the time. But what was hilarious to me was like. That look, it wasn't like he basically got quote unquote sucker punched or whatever else. Pretty much like he was sitting in the chair and he was talking, and then he just basically looks over to his right,
threw something at him.
Looks over to his left, and he's like, "Oh!" and it's on immediately. It's not like it wasn't necessarily like when Natalya was jumping out on Nikki Bella last year. It was like just enough where you see it coming, you brace, but you ain't quick enough to get your dukes up. You're going to catch these hands. Yes. It was great.
Yes.
I laughed.
Yeah, this man Don Callis has shown up to the airport in a neck brace, getting special treatment in a wheelchair. Yes, probably working those folks. That man's an Austin Idol all-star, apparently. Yeah, and the thing was, it has turned Omega into like this beloved babyface in Japan. Like when you see the attack, James, like the one Jericho does in the ring, as soon as Omega starts fighting back, like the crowd like loses their mind. They start doing the Terminator claps and everything like that. It's like Kenny Omega is a sympathetic babyface in New Japan. I would have never, ever, ever, ever predicted that. Cyrus, basically, Don Callis, he doesn't have to pick a side now. Jericho done jumped on his ass, so he can come out here and do all his Kenny Omega, Bobby Heenan, Ric Flair commentary, and that's just going to be awesome. And these guys are, it's on pretty much. So happy to see that. James,
still ain't the main event though.
It's a match I want to see.
Cool.
The
just because I want to see the 4-way tag match in this upcoming pay-per-view at the Clash Champions for the tag champions doesn't mean that like that's the main event. Like Jinder Mahal is in the main event, unfortunately, but he is in the main event. He's going to go on last.
So, one more thing I want to talk about. So, we were talking about, I forgot what it was. It was like, it felt, the Omega and Jericho had like a feel of like something like Terry Funk and Ric Flair. So, you had told me, like kind of a theory you had about Terry Funk or a way that you can enjoy Terry Funk even more if you have not. By picturing him this way.
Oh, yeah, so you look at Terry Funk, let's say someone my age, and you think of, the Chainsaw Charlie stuff and like him, doing all types of crazy stuff, like he's a crazy old uncle that's lost his mind, like, and you think of, some of his older stuff when he was always wild no matter what. And like you have the wacky clothesline thing, and the fact he still is in his 70s and he's still wrestling. He's gonna be somewhere this weekend wrestling still. Like the dude is out of his damn mind. He's crazy. But the thing is, like you hear him talk, and like when he's not like yelling loud, like he sounds really like soft spoken. Like it's like a switch almost. But like. When he's on, like you can tell, like he's a nutso, he's a nut job, but it has like a kind of like, but there's no polish to it. Like he's just like kind of awkward man that's crazy, so and uncoordinated. So for me, especially like if you watch him during the Attitude Era when you go past prime. So for me, like when you see one of his 11 retirement matches. Especially the one in Japan where there's the clip of him yelling forever, like on a loop forever.
Yes.
Like I think of all of that through the lens of like, this man is clearly every time you've ever seen him in life, he's always been drunk. There's no other way to explain a human acting that way, like for that long. Since like this dude has a drinking problem. Like, I don't know how at 70 his liver has not failed him yet.
Right.
But, like, this dude, obviously, like, clearly this dude has some type of drinking problem, and he ends up getting himself lit before he comes out every single time. And then, whenever he decides to, to put on pantyhose over his head and wield a chainsaw, there's always, like, a white residue substance, like, on the mask. Like, which, seems to me like someone's,
on Potter
sniffing a little bit of Medellin's best, so like that too. Like that's besides the point. Like if you view everything through the lens of Terry Funk on the lens of that guy is drunk right now, it's relatively harmless. I'm not being judgmental, but like it is more enjoyable to think, oh, look at this goof. Look at this drunken fool, like, busting his ass, doing acai moonsault, damn near shattering his leg, and he's in his 50s. Why? Because something went in his brain compelled him to the ropes to do this move, even though
he ain't got no damn business doing no acai moonsault.
You know what the best part about hearing about the acai moonsault is? Somebody asked him after he did it the first time, like, why the hell did you do that? He's like, I don't know.
Terry, have you ever tried this before? No. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, you're just like you're complete. Like, you're what do they say? Like you're complete like system to be able to judge and process things is completely like, and he's inebriated. Like, it's gone. It's relaxed. Like, dude, the filter, like, discretion is out the window. He's out here flipping it on you boys.
Yes.
Never done it. What if he had snapped his neck or broke his leg?
I mean, he would have got up. He's Terry Funk. Like, like...
And he's drunk, so it wouldn't hurt as much, I guess.
Right. So, like, a couple of them, you were saying, pile driving Flair on the table while drunk as shit. Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Basically, I thought it was like Terry Funk, he basically showed up, with a stocking on his face on national television as if he hadn't been a wrestler for 25 years with a chainsaw. Of course he's drunk.
Yeah. That guy's lost his mind. Like, and I mean, and I've done this before. Like, I don't think I've ever said this on the air, but like, you've heard me say this before. Like, I work under the guys that, like, Macho Man was high on cocaine all throughout the entire 80s. All of it. Like, why else would that man be that on edge? Why would that man be that, like, that hyper? Why would that man be that sweaty? Why would that man always be like, no, that man's clearly either that or he's on amphetamine.
Look, why would his eyes be wide the fuck open at all times?
Yeah. Like, you ever seen the promo where leading up to WrestleMania 5?
He's not even looking at the camera, right?
No, 5 when he's leading up to fighting Hogan, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so WrestleMania 5, and this is like after he's already like jumped Hogan, and like they show all the little small stuff of like the long small things that led to bigger things where he finally combusted and snapped, where like he noticed his hand was on her backside the one time. He had those lusting eyes. He noticed that, like, he left matches to go tend to her need when he's out there busting his hump, right? He finally exploded. And as you see him, like, basically explain, like, each, like, succession where it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like, where, like, you finally see, like, the camel's back is about to break.
Yeah.
You see him standing there. He's standing there just talking. Every time they cut back from the video footage, he's getting sweatier and pinker and redder and louder, and his voice is starting to go. And you know how Macho talk, like like but anyway, like, you see him like, that dude is clearly like high on cocaine right now, and that man is working up a lather. He doesn't know what's going on here. Like, he doesn't realize that this dude has sweat through his shirt while standing. Like, I mean, Macho Man wasn't no gigantic dude. He was a pretty in shape dude to me. How do you get that mad that fast to where you, in the span of like 3 minutes, you standing there, you're dry as a bone, and then by the end, you're sweating through. You're just sweating through. You have to take off your glasses because you're sweating so bad. Your shades.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Bro, it's hilarious.
I haven't watched it in a while, so I may have not noticed that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the show. Thank you guys all for listening. Make sure you guys check out all the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. You guys can check out Ricky and Clive, our Scottish export. They should be releasing sometime soon. You can check out the SMC Podcast with Caleb, Rance, and Carl. And then you can also check out Keeping It Strong Style for all your New Japan coverage with Jeremy and Josh. And then we always do our live shows on Sunday, and we finally got back to doing a regular old podcast today. But we're going to be doing, actually tomorrow night, which will be Thursday evening, I'll be on the Implication Show live on Lords of Pain Radio. And James and I will be appearing on Chad Matthews' show I want to say next week after Clash of Champions, if I'm not mistaken, to talk about Clash of Champions and, some end of the year stuff. We have something that we are calling, we have pretty much a holiday show that we have come up with. And it was a off concept that James kind of made a joke of. I was like, bro, that would be an awesome segment. So we are going to present the 2017 One Nation FOH draft, and if you don't know what FOH stands for, that means fuck out of here. So what we're planning to do is a holiday episode, and maybe make this an annual thing. So we're gonna tally up all the things, or some of the things that made us say get the fuck out of here in WWE. And what we're going to do is do it with at least 2 other people. We're still trying to decide and narrow that down, but we're gonna draft all the ones that we, want, and the one that you draft is, you go ahead and shoot on it. And to make things a little bit more fun, we're going to drink during this, during that show. So you will get One Nation Radio and our guests lit for the holidays, shooting on all the things that made us say, get the fuck out of here. And then that will be in conjunction with our award show, which will follow that. So that's pretty much that looks like the end of the year lineup for One Nation Radio, what we got going on. And I believe we're going to have a show that airs on Lords of Pain Radio as well. So we're trying to make some moves. James, you got anything else you want to add before we get up out of here?
No, nothing. Real quick, shouts out to Dylan James and the group on the Wrestling Square Circle. He hooked me up today. He didn't have to spend time out of his own day, help me out. I had a crazy, suggestion or ask for advice thing, where I asked somebody if they could to put together real interests from the past from WWE wrestlers, go on YouTube and grab the footage or whatever of someone entering, and then cut the audio out and add in audio from current songs or whatever else, just because the thought of somebody for example, the one I used was Vince McMahon walking out to 21 Savage bank account. Well, to me, in my mind, it sounds hilarious. I'm just imagining doing the walk, and he's 7500 and on a Saint Laurent jacket. I thought it was hilarious. So. And it was even better than I imagined it.
And I think he got banned from posting videos in the process. So Dylan really did for the culture out here.
Yeah, I think he said it was a temporary thing, but it's funny because it's a private group, whatever. He still hooked me up, and then I also mentioned have Oscar come out to Bodak, and it was fantastic. It worked perfectly. It was one of the things where it was funny to see because of the juxtaposition of who Asuka is as this Japanese woman, and what her spirit, as a wrestler, what her spirit is, and then her no one's ready for Asuka. That fits in line with you couldn't fuck me even if you wanted to. That goes in line with that, right? Yeah. Even though the culture's different, the message is still the same. It's just the coding. So I thought that was pretty cool. I also I asked them to do the Post Malone and 21 Savage Rockstar with Nakamura. That's when he found, and he tried to upload that, and that's when he ended up getting his getting banned. But he still ended up sending it to me through a message, and it was kind of similar to, in a way, to the Asa thing, where it's not even that where it's also funny, but it was actually it actually fitted with the strobe lights, because that song kind of feels like you're in slow mo because the whole song's about them doing drugs, make it feel like you're in slow mo. With the strobe lights, so it kind of all fit together, and then the whole talk about I'm being a rock star, when that clearly is what Nakamura is. He is a rock star. Kind of all fit together.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely shouts to him because he didn't have to do that. He took time out of his day to do that. He could have been look, bro, could have just kept scrolling by, and just went about his life.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Dylan. Shout out to everybody in the Wrestling Square Circle. Love you guys. You guys definitely help make this show what it is. Give us a lot of good conversation for the week and everything like that. But shouts out to all the listeners around the world, as we mentioned last week, and also New Jersey. And, wherever else we're just trying to get over out here. So make sure you guys leave us ratings. We definitely would enjoy that. Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean. If you go back if you have the Podbean app, you can you can go really back. And this would probably be a good thing to do for the end of the year shows. James, I listened to our Royal Rumble Instant Reaction show the other day. Like, bro, we were so depressed, especially me. It was just like, bro, I could feel myself like looking at the ground, like trying to describe what I had just saw with Randy Orton win the Royal Rumble. Actually, you weren't that mad. You weren't that mad. I was just like, I can't believe they let Randy Orton win the 2017 Royal Rumble. I was just like in complete disbelief.
Well, I wasn't down on it because at that point in time, like they had built that thing well. I mean, it just, you got that shitty match you got at WrestleMania, and so now everything looks like it's complete garbage. But like,
I had the vision.
I mean, the burn, like him burning down Orton burning down Wyatt's family gravesite thing is still like one of the 10 biggest things to happen, shocking things that happen all year. Like, obviously, it was shocking for different reasons. Like, it also doubles as like the most awesome, terrible thing that also happened on TV in WWE as well. But like, it was damn sure memorable, and like they did set it up well. Where like they were the two final survivors for Survivor Series. They set the whole thing up where he goes over to being on the Wyatts even before Survivor Series.
It ain't work.
They were tag champions together. They had a falling out with Orton basically dissolved the Wyatt family in that whole storyline. Like, it just, that match happened and they decided to put projections of freaking bugs and earthworms on the floor. And they decided not to have a real match. Decided to have a sports entertainment fest, and it happens.
Right, like, man, I knew we was headed for bullshit from the second that man threw Roman Reigns out. So I like to just shout myself out for calling that early. But yeah, like I said, you guys can go back through the archives and all that.
Yeah. Look. Worst case scenario, regardless of whatever happened, look, you can say it was one of the worst feuds of the year. I mean, there aren't too many main event matches that were as bad as that. I mean, obviously the Punjabi prison match, but ultimately, you can say what you want to about how good or how entertaining or fun points of it were, but like ultimately, we're always gonna have what's gonna stand the test of time. When me and you, this podcast is gone, we in pine boxes and dirt. What will live on forever in infamy is Randy Orton in front of that burning house, hitting his fucking pose, bro.
And I think
will live on forever.
That's a good place to end it, man. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Have a great week. We will see you guys back here Sunday.
Later.